What is up, guys? The prep series, episode 1 is here. We are going to film Push A, which is the first session from my new training setup. So guys, please subscribe to the channel, show some love. We're about to take you on a ride with the prep. 2 years off stage, 2024 is the year when I'm coming back. Since 2022, I have taken the time to grow and develop both in and outside of the gym. Been super busy, getting after it, getting shit done and growing, bringing more content for you guys, getting better across every area of my life, working up until this point. So I cannot wait. This has been a long time coming, guys. So as you can imagine, I am very, very excited. It's actually great to be in such a mental place where I am just taking things day by day and enjoying every single day as it comes. It's been a long time, so competing doesn't come very often, especially in bodybuilding. So I am very much mindful of that fact. And with that in mind, I am appreciating every single day much more than I ever have done before. Because once prep is over, you then go into a long off season again and you don't get time back. So sometimes I look back on previous preps and I wish I appreciated the time a little bit more and I was a little bit more present. So one word of advice for you guys today is be more present on your day-to-day. Create a vision, but make sure that you are welcoming the pursuit of the daily grind and getting after it as much as you possibly can. Own the day, win the day, like Hunter would say, and kill it. Guys, enjoy the session. Subscribe, like, share, do all the fun stuff, support the channel. Let's get it. Right, what is up, guys? Welcome back. Today we're going to cover Push A. So this is the first session of my new programming I'm going to share with you and take you through entire setup, session by session. So I will film all 5 new sessions that I will be doing now throughout my contest prep. And today we're going to start with push. It's Monday. It's Wednesday. It's not usual chest day, but for me, it's definitely the highlight of the week. So let's get after it. Right, update where we're at. 19 weeks and 4 days out from Spain and Pro Classic. So that will be the first show of the year. And it's been a long time. I'm very much excited to get this prep smashed. It's, I wouldn't say it's been a countdown, but any bodybuilder that knows what pre-prep looks like, especially any of my clients that work with me, you know that as that time approaches, not only get excited, but the urgency to work is extremely high. Now, one thing I want you to understand is prep always goes real quick. So be present and stay in the moment. Appreciate every single day as it comes along. Generally, I like to take things day by day. I focus on that given single day, and I give my absolute all. Whatever I've set out to do that day gets completed to the best of my ability. I don't look far ahead. I do have that date in mind, yes. I've got a timeline mapped out. I know exactly what I'm going to do working towards that, but none of that really matters. That's just a vision. It's good to create that vision, but what you need to focus on most importantly is the road and the daily action that you take that takes you towards that. Nothing else matters. The rest is just noise. It's good to keep that vision in place, but you need to focus on the work. Exercise number 1, lying cable Y raise. One of my all-time favorite movements for shoulders. Not only is it a great functional movement, but it's a movement that will challenge the side delt and challenge your shoulder in above the head range, which is unlike any other exercise that you can potentially do. So if you do experience shoulder pain or any issues with your shoulders in general, get strong at doing this exercise, and I can promise you, majority of cases, you're probably going to fix yourself. So, at the moment, what you'll notice, both my push sessions, I do have a lateral in place. Main reason for that is your shoulders can never be big enough, right? Secondly, I feel like going into my press work after doing a shoulder exercise, I feel a lot safer. I have a little bit of blood in there around my shoulder joint, so pressing almost feels a lot smoother. Now, this is something that works for me. It's not something that works for everyone, so try out for yourself. Start with an isolation exercise first, then do your presses, see what it feels like. If you don't like it, just do your presses first. Work out for yourself, guys. It's not rocket science. I'm here to guide you, but I'm not here to hold your hand. So the mid set on my isolation work is the heaviest set, and the third set back off will be even lighter than my previous weight, and I will aim to get more reps. So set number 1 was 10.5, got 14 reps. Set number 2, 12, I'm gonna aim for around 10 reps, and then back off set is going to be 9 kilo, I think, and then I'll aim for 15 plus. So that's just one way I like to approach my isolation exercises. It keeps my loading honest, and it allows me to not get carried away with loading too much, going into a heavier set in lower rep range first. Today's session structure. Exercise number 1 was rope cable crunch. Every single session, every single upper body session, starts with a variation of core work. Push work, I start with rope cable crunch with a little bit of protraction just to get my shoulders nice and ready for work ahead. On pull day, I tend to start with a hanging leg raise. Now, again, hanging, probably one of the best things you can do for your shoulder health. So as you can see, there's a pattern here. Before I actually go into all my sessions, there's some work prior to it that is applicable to what I need, whilst giving me the prep work, as people like to call it, prior to going to my actual session. So always consider doing an actual exercise to prep you for the work ahead, rather than doing fluffy banded work, which doesn't do anything. Okay. Today's session layout. Exercise number 1, rope cable crunch. Exercise number 2, lying cable Y raise. Exercise number 3, cable fly. Exercise number 4, incline flex leverage. Exercise number 5, high incline strive. Exercise number 6, the dip. Exercise number 7, seated lateral raise. Exercise number 8, we've got tricep press down, 3 sets. followed by a single set of overhead dumbbell extension. And exercise number 9, we've got calves to finish off on. So, as you were seeing in the previous video, on the structure and layout of each session, today's obviously push A. The reason why I have a cable fly before my presses is pretty simple. I am looking to bring up my chest, and I have actually found doing cable fly or a press before going to machine work, it allows me to stay a lot more connected with my actual chest. And then I do believe I get more quality stimulus into my pecs as opposed to just pressing from my tricep or my shoulders. So it's something that I very much like to keep in. However, not across every single session. So as you'll have noticed on my push B, I start with a flat press that converges. So I will explain why I don't actually start with cables separately on push B, so you have to watch it. We're going to work rep range of 10 to 15 reps. Again, for isolation work, I do prefer to be in slightly higher rep range. Now, one thing you'll notice, especially now we're in a deficit, I don't really do anything above 15 reps. 15 reps and above is work that is best served when you are in a calorie surplus. Your rep range is largely dictated by the amount of fuel you have coming in. So your diet generally should dictate what rep ranges you're working and how much volume you can handle, and whether you can actually work with intensifiers such as rest pause or drop sets. In simple terms, if you're in a deficit, the last thing you want to do is set extensions, drop sets, force reps. If you're in a surplus, add it in. You've got the fuel coming in, you've got enough recoverability to be able to recover from it and progress. Now, in a deficit, your goal is staying big, keeping the strength. So, don't extend your sets, simple. A lot of you have been asking how I structure my logbook, so Aaron will actually show you what I do now. My sessions are laid out on this side. My exercise selection is written here, and then each different session is listed in different columns. At the top, I've got date and my body weight, so I can cross-reference what session I did when and how much I actually weighed in that session. Your body weight makes a difference. Weight moves weight. Heavier you are, generally, you will be stronger in certain lifts, especially lifts that require internal stability, like a dumbbell press, for example. So pay attention to that. Monitor your weight, log your weights, get fucking massive. Write that one down. When it comes to programming, volume is not created equal. What I mean by that is how much fatigue one exercise will create versus another, it does not quite compare. So when we consider programming movements, like for example, a barbell back squat, and we compare that with a leg extension, both will give you a tremendous amount of stimulus, but one arguably will give you far much more fatigue. And that's obviously with the squat. So when it comes to your program as a whole, you need to consider how many working sets you can handle from the big stuff, and then how many working sets you can handle from the little stuff, because both will vary a lot. Generally, you'll be able to do a lot more of the little stuff than you will of the big stuff. So when it comes to structuring your training sessions, yes, you've got to prioritize big and bread butter compound movements, but it is limited as to how much of those movements you'll be able to do in one single session, and how many working sets of those movements you'll be able to do as well. Write that one down. Got some tricep isolation work left now. And then calves. So as you can see, we still prioritize the bread and butter compound movements, and we do pair them together. So after my initial isolation work, I then go into my compound work and then finish off on the isolation work. So the bread and butter movements in this session would be incline flex leverage, high incline strive, and the dip. And then we finish off on lateral work and then isolation exercise for tricep. I know some guys like to do compound iso. It's a great way to do things. However, I personally found in doing so, it tends to take away from each compound movement, which I do believe needs to be prioritized in sessions, especially when training, pushing, combining different body parts together. Easy bar push down. One of my favorite movements of all time. Extremely simple. To older, evidence-based crew. May not be the most optimal because it's narrow grip. I don't really care. I get a great connection with it, and I come away from the working set with my triceps fully blown. That's good enough reason for me to do it. Now, I will follow this on with just a single set of overhead dumbbell extension. Now, This is a great exercise to start your isolation work, and then always finish on something that goes above the head. So challenge your tricep in the stretch and work the long head of your tricep, which makes up majority of your arm. Shout out to Hard Body for the best lifting straps in the business. The reason why I prefer training calves and leg press is very, very simple. We're not putting any pressure on the spine, and I find that not only working unilaterally, but also working in a leg press where my lower back's supported and I can lock my hips in, I can just get so much more out of my calf press. It's super, super nasty. So here, I aim to keep a slight bend at the knee. So my knee's not completely locked out, but not bent too much to a degree where I'm using my quad. It's just a slight bend, and what I found, keeping the slight bend at the knee allows me to actually get more range of motion in my calf. I can actually roll my heel, roll my ankle right down. Basically, imagine I'm trying to push my heel away from the ball of my foot. Pause in a deep stretch, and then contract as hard as I can. And as I go into the shortened range, I almost imagine like I'm trying to lift myself up, like I'm looking over a fence. That's one of the cues that I love for calf press and calf work in general. And we'll talk about non-existing body parts. I literally had no calves probably 5, 6 years ago. 5 years ago, it was literally a shin, and now it's like it's half a calf. So I'm proud of that. If you've got weak body parts, fucking train them. Right guys, that's the session wrap up. Very good session today. Some movements progressed, some movements are held, which is great considering my body weight is 6 pounds down since I last did this session. Like I mentioned before, in some of the footage you will have already seen from the session, as you lose body fat and lose body weight, you will lose some leverage and you will lose some internal stability. Weight moves weight. When you are heavier, you will always be stronger. So going into a diet phase, generally the movements that you will see a slight decline in strength will be with your presses. And simple reason for that is there's less of you. You've got less body weight, so you will have less oomph and less stability in your pressing. So that's something you should be considerate of as you are going to contest prep. Sessions wrapped up. I had all my interests. Now we've got a post-workout meal. 125 cream of rice. This is the chocolate banana one of the new flavors. Absolutely amazing. 150 berries, and here we've got 350 grams of prawns and a little bit of lettuce, salt, and I think there might be a tiny bit of GQ's sugar-free teriyaki in there, which is epic. So guys, thank you so much for watching. the prep episode 1 is down. Like I mentioned, I will film each and every single session, and I will get that out to you so you can see for yourself how the programming looks. And if you haven't already seen, check out my video covering my new training program. And if you haven't seen the video previous to that one, covering what training program I used to pretty much make my progress since I stepped off stage last time and before, then make sure you check that one out as well. Guys, please like, share, subscribe, and I hope you enjoy the video. Take care for now.